Well, it's WHEW. You know, for 2 days we've had stellar pitching on our side, had chances to win. They've had great pitching as well. It seemed like we played uphill for the last 18 innings, but we're able to push one across there at the end to even this series. So it was a great win for us. And you know, hopefully tomorrow we have a chance to have another nice game. We got a great start today from Neff. The only run they got was an inning where they didn't get a hit. Hits walk and hits batsman, but it was a great win for us. We kept battling. There's going to be a lot of these in the SEC. We understand that, and you got to try to win your share of close games. Very happy our guys were able to battle today and win.
Questions?
You've expressed a lot of confidence in Steven in the past. Did today's performance sort of reinforce for you exactly what you've been saying for the last month or so about Steven?
Well, it did. He has the stuff to be an outstanding pitcher here and in the Southeastern Conference. You know, he's been lacking key experience in his career and maybe command at times, but there's no doubt about his ability. And I think today he showed a little bit about what he's capable of doing. He was able to get some fastballs in there pretty good, upper 80s, maybe a few in the low 90s. He's getting his slider in, a few change-ups here and there. So he's got the stuff to give us an opportunity, and I was really happy to see that today from him.
Ray, it seemed like, I guess it all kind of comes around. You know, Scott had a chance to win it last night, got caught on the track, and now he's up there and finally gets it done.
Well, it actually crossed my mind when he was up there at the end. I know he was up there last night, and just hope that, you know, I always preach that the game will even out. Just keep playing it, don't get frustrated, and it'll even out. And you know, their guy out on the mound at the end there was you know, throwing the ball well, but he's a left-hander, and sometimes those lefties fall off a little bit toward third. And Wingo got out in front of that pitch, which meant he was leaning a little bit toward first. So he got a good jump and was able to beat him to the bag. So that was a huge play for us.
In the ninth, when Marzilli's bunt, were you surprised that Boeing didn't go to third with the throw?
A little bit. I thought, you know, from where I was standing, he had a pretty good shot there, and he didn't. He chose to go to first, but he probably had a shot at third base.
Ray, with this W, is it kind of fun to get one of these under your belt, these bottom of the ninth dramatic wins? Is it good for your ball club? Does it mean a little bit more than just one W?
Well, you know, in the big picture, you can't make too much out of it. But the truth of the matter is, we have played uphill for the last 2 days. You know, we've been behind. We've you know, we evened the series, but we haven't evened the innings. We've been really playing uphill. So I think it helps us some. You know, it's only one win, but I think that there's an opportunity maybe for some of our guys to relax a little bit. At the end of the day, the most important thing is being able to get a win. And when you don't get a win, you go back and do the things over again that you didn't do well, whether it was an at-bat or whether it was a play, and you rehash it. You don't rehash it as much when you win. And we had talked about that a little bit, so just getting a W today hopefully will help us relax a little bit tomorrow.
Coach, with college baseball changing and the style of play changing, bunting is probably going to become even more important. Today you had some problems with that. Williams couldn't get it down. Marzilli bunted a couple back to the pitchers. There are some concerns there?
Well, no. You know, sometimes when you don't get good bunts down, and you have to look at the guy throwing out there too. Some pitchers are not as easy to bunt, but not to avoid your question, yeah, you're always concerned. You want to be able to execute, and we have emphasized that. I'm sure a lot of teams around the country have emphasized that more. I'm hoping that you know, we can get that done in a better fashion than we did today, but it all worked out.
All right, a couple of questions. One, you know, you shake up the lineup a little bit to try to get the bats booming, and they kind of come around at the end, but weren't really that good at the start. Just how do you kind of try to get out of that streak when a team's going through it, and also who's pitching tomorrow?
You know, I think that you just have to keep plugging. I mean, you look at the line score today, 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors. 10 hits, really? We got 10? I mean, it felt like we got 3. But that's, you know, that's part of the game, and it's a little frustrating. I think Jackie's been hitless for his last 4 games. That's a little bit unusual, and I don't know the right combination right now. We just got to keep plugging, maybe play a couple other guys. You know, we don't have a lot of depth, but then we got some guys with experience that played key roles for us last year, and you know, you don't want to give up on those guys either. So it's a daily battle. Look at my eyes. I mean, it's a battle. And the second part of your question, Kumas, Webb, or Westmoreland? I'm going to go ask Coach Myers the same question here in a few minutes.
Based on how last night's game went, is the best number from today that 0 number under the E column in the box score?
That might be an understatement today. That was good to see. I thought Mooney relaxed a little bit today. He got that base hit, and you know, I'd like to have seen him drive into a game winner there at the end, but he wasn't able to do it. But you know, he's a good player. He made a couple of nice plays defensively that enabled Neff to continue his good pitching out there.
Coach, you spoke here to the team as far as about their plate approach and getting a good at bat and maybe even trying to work the count, but yet you still got some guys that are getting early holds and not really giving themselves a chance. Can you just kind of talk if that's still a big concern or if you see improvement there?
I think some of the guys are doing a little bit better job. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm guilty of doing some analysis, and I might be guilty of causing paralysis by analysis. Because I spent some time this week with Marzilli, with Mooney, with Matthews, Wingo. You know, maybe sometimes you know, I bring it on more so than anything else. But yeah, we're trying to get in better counts and you know, give it quality at bats. And you know, right now I tell guys, watch Morales. He'll give you an at bat. You know, he'll give you an at bat. If he gets down, he'll fight back in the count. It's a lot easier said than done. But we've got some guys that are better players than their numbers indicate. So we got to try to help those guys find their way a little bit. If they're capable, which I believe they are, as coaches, we got to try to help them find their way.
Last question.
What's been the difference with this Georgia team this year as opposed to last year? Obviously, they had a very poor record. It looked like this year they're much more competitive team than they were.
Well, in my estimation, you know, there's some good players there, but beyond that, you go back to last night with Alex Wood and today with Michael Palzone. You know, it's strike throwers, no walks, good stuff. When you pitch, you're in the game, and that's, I think, has been the difference in their team right now, and it makes a lot of sense. I think they've got some good players. I mean, Levi Himes is a tough out right now, and Davidson came up with a big hit for him. Price made a nice pitch on a slider on the back leg there when he got that ball through the 4-hole, and Cone, he's a top-notch player. But it starts on the mound, and I think coming into the series, those guys had 20-something punch-outs apiece with 3 walks, and they're going to get better too. You know, Palzone today, his fastball might have dropped a little bit in the middle innings, and when it did, he went straight to his breaking ball and his changeup and got him in there. I mean, he made some good pitches when he needed to, and that will enable teams to have opportunities to win. And I'm happy with what our guys did the last 2 days. We were in a position to win as well because of our pitching. So, but to answer your question, I think makes a lot of difference in their team right now. Those 2 guys out front.